British Secretary of State Boris Johnson calls on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, urges quick repatriation of Rohingyas. BNP appointed corrupt and convicted person to lead party, remarks Obaidul Qadir. Evil elements bid to put country in turmoil will backfire as before, says Tofail Ahmed. Maldives' political crisis might take serious turn, apprehends UN Security Council. Seoul Winter Olympics kicks off. North Korean leader's sister joined colorful inauguration. And Sri Lanka lead Bangladesh by 312 runs after second day's play of Dhaka Test. Assalamu alaikum. This is Shibli Noman Noshad welcoming you all to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chittagong Center.
And I'm Shamim Khan welcoming you all. Those were the headlines. We now move on to the news in details. Visiting British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has emphasized on quick repatriation of the displaced Rohingyas to their homeland in Myanmar, saying any delay may complicate the issue. Boris Johnson made the emphasis when he called on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Ganesh Bhavan this evening. After the meeting, Prime Minister's Press Secretary Ihsan al-Karim briefed newsmen. Both the leaders agreed that after repatriation of the Rohingyas, Myanmar authority should allow international organizations, including the UNHCR, to provide humanitarian assistance for the Rohingyas. Sheikh Hasina said Bangladesh has given temporary shelter to over 1 million Myanmar nationals, and such a huge number of refugees from Myanmar is a big burden for Bangladesh. In this regard, she opined that Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi should act sincerely to this end, and said the refugees need to go back to their homes as they are living in Cox's Bazar in a very inhuman condition. Referring to the Kofi Annan Commission report on the Rohingya crisis, the Prime Minister stressed implementation of the report for a durable solution. Prime Minister also brought to the notice of the British Foreign Secretary about the attack carried out at Bangladesh High Commission in London last Wednesday. In reply, Boris Johnson assured the Prime Minister of looking into the issue. British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has said the plight of the Rohingyas and the suffering they have had to endure is one of the most shocking humanitarian disasters of their time. He said this during his meeting with Foreign Minister A.H. Mahmood Ali at the State Guest House, Bodda. British High Commissioner to Bangladesh Alison Blake is accompanying the British Foreign Secretary in the meeting. The British Foreign Secretary said he wants to see and hear for himself the terrible things these people have been through, and he'll be talking to the State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi and other regional leaders about how they can work together to resolve this appalling crisis. Bangladesh has secured position among the 5 most vibrant economies among the least developed countries. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development UNCTAD in a new report revealed that Bangladesh and 4 other countries among the 45 LDCs have attained 7% or more GDP growth. The report, titled Selected Sustainable Development Trends in the Least Developed Countries 2018, published recently, says Bangladesh has earned 7.1% GDP growth, while Djibouti 7.5%, Ethiopia 8.5%, Myanmar 7.2%, and Nepal 7.5%. The report further said Bangladesh is one of the least developed countries that has done well in dynamism of economy.
Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obadul Kader has said Khaleda Zia's imprisonment will not create political crisis in the country, rather it will deepen BNP's internal crisis. The minister said this while talking to newsmen after visiting a BRTI project at Vogra in Gazipur this morning. Referring to Tariq's appointment as acting chairperson of BNP, Obadul Kader said it is now crystal clear why BNP abolished Section 7 from its constitution. Now there is no bar in BNP's constitution for corrupt and convicted persons to be leader of this party, he added. Obadul Kader said BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia herself and her lawyers are responsible for the verdict ahead of the next parliament election, as she delayed the judicial procedure on various excuses. Commerce Minister Tufail Ahmed has said an evil force is trying to create political crisis in the country, but they will not be succeeded like in the past. He was speaking at a Golden Jubilee function of Sheikh Burhanuddin University College in Dhaka today. Chairman of Board of Directors of the college, Professor Dr. Harun Rashid Khan, presided over the function. Among others, BMA President Dr. Mustafa Jalal Mahiuddin, Vice Chancellor of Jagannath University, Professor Dr. Mizanur Rahman, Vice Chancellor of the National University, Professor Dr. Harun Rashid, and Food Minister Advocate Kamrul Islam addressed the function. The Food Minister called upon the students' community and young generation to be united against anti-liberation forces, corruption and drugs to take the country forward under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Health and Family Welfare Minister Mahbub Nazim has said Bangladesh's court and law is running independently and in their own course. He said this at a function organized on the occasion of the 8th Chapai Festival in Dhaka today. Chapai Zila Shamiti President Engineer Nurul Islam presided over the function. General Secretary of the organization, Engineer Uzair Ali, former State Minister Brigadier General retired Enamul Haq, Ghulam Mustafa Bishash MP and State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shahriar Al-Alam also addressed the function. The speakers in their speeches called upon all to come forward for building the country and to remain alert so that the young generation do not suffer from uncertainty in their life. Newly appointed Chief Justice.
Now, international news. United Nations expressed deep concern over Maldives situation, saying it might be worsen. United Nations Security Council called for a closed-door meeting with this issue yesterday. Meanwhile, visiting EU delegation team could not meet with Maldives President Abdullah Yameen. The embattled president of the Maldives has sent envoys to the friendly nations such as China, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia to brief them on a political crisis. Abdullah Yameen left out the key regional powers, India, which had joined Britain, the United States and the United Nations in calling for the lifting of the emergency and the freeing of 2 Supreme Court judges whose ruling against Yameen sparked new instability. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump discussed about Maldives situation over telephone. The Maldives, best known for luxury tourist resorts, has become another arena of contest for India and China after it signed up to Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative to build trade and transport links across Asia and beyond. The Winter Olympic Games officially open in South Korea today with fantastic spectacle and a parade of participating nations. Kim Jo-young, younger sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, attended the opening ceremony of the 23rd Olympic Games with North Korean ceremonial head of the state Kim Young-nam. More details by Mahbubur Rahman.
The 23rd Olympic Winter Games officially kicked off in Pyeongchang, South Korea, with a dazzling spectacle featuring the parade of participating nations. This is the second Olympics held in South Korea, as Seoul was the host city for the Summer Olympics in 1988. The opening ceremony, titled Peace in Motion, emphasized peace by following the fairy tale-like adventures with a cast of hundreds of other performers. The opening ceremony featured about 3,000 athletes from 93 nations of the world. North and South Korea were last to enter the stadium. The two Korea marched together behind the unification flag carried by athletes from each country. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's sister Kim Yo-jong was at the opening ceremony with North Korean nominal head of state Kim Yong-nam. They are part of an extraordinary diplomatic push by the North Korea aimed at using the Olympics to ease tensions with the South Korea. Still, the eyes of the world were not only watching the traditional parade of nations. The United States sent Vice President Mike Pence. Other leaders like UN Chief Antonio Guterres, Japan Premier Shinzo Abe also attended the opening ceremony. Meanwhile, North Korea has held a military parade attended by leader Kim Jong-un a day before the opening of the Winter Olympics. Kim Jong-un inspected the troops alongside with his wife, but United States criticized the North Korean move just ahead of Winter Olympic Games. Mahabubur Rahman, International Desk, Bangladesh Television.
Newly appointed Chief Justice Syed Mohammad Hussain paid a rich tribute to Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, by placing wreaths at his graveyard at Tungipara in Gopalganj today. The Chief Justice later offered Fatiha and took part in the special munajat, seeking eternal peace for the departed soul of the Father of the Nation. Wife of the Chief Justice, acting Registrar of the Supreme Court and local Awami League leaders were present on the occasion. The Chief Justice later signed the visitors' book kept at Bangabandhu Bhavan at Tungipara. Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal has said that Bangladesh is a safe country now resisting militancy and terrorism. He said none will get opportunity to create anarchy or chaos in the name of politics. The Home Minister was addressing an Alim Ulama meeting organized by Bangladesh United Islamic Party at Uttara in the capital today. Party President Maulana Muhammad Ismail Hussain chaired the function, while Awami League Presidium member Advocate Shahara Khatun MP attended as chief guest, and Food Minister Advocate Kamrul Islam spoke as special guest. The Food Minister said the verdict in Khaleda Zia's corruption case is shameful for all politicians. The Home Minister said judiciary was not influenced in the trial of Begum Khaleda Zia and the verdict was delivered freely. Saifuddin Rafi, an indomitable spirit, is striding ahead, defying the curse of blindness. Rafi from Potia in Chittagong has secured GPA 5 in SSC exam. Saifuddin Rafi's endeavor to marching ahead did not come to a stop when he lost sight in both of his eyes at the age of 3. He secured GPA 5 in this year's SSC examination from Uzirpur Agriculture School and College under Potia Upazila in Chittagong. He had also secured GPA 5 in JSC and primary exams. He wants to be an English teacher after completing education. Rafi is the lone receiver of GPA 5 in SSC from the Humanities group among all examinees from Potia Upazila. Rafi is the youngest of 3 siblings. His father, the only earning member of the family, was a teacher at the Uzirpur Union Agriculture School who died 2 years ago, and his older sister Aki has taken over the family's responsibility after their father's death. She too is a teacher at the same school. Rafi, who aspires to be a teacher, is good in cultural activities too.
Now news on sports. Sri Lanka took 312 runs lead against Bangladesh at stumps of day 2 in the second test of 2-match series at Mirpur today. At the end of the day, the Lankans scored 200 runs for 8 in the second innings. Roshan Silva and Suranga Lakmal were on the crease with 58 and 7 runs respectively. Earlier, Bangladesh started the second day's batting with overnight score of 56 runs for 4. The hosts were all out on 110 runs in the first innings. Sri Lanka were all out on 222 runs in the first innings. And now to end the bulletin, a recap of the top stories. British Secretary of State Boris Johnson calls on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, urges quick repatriation of Rohingyas. BNP appointed corrupt and convicted person to lead the party, remarks Obaidul Qadir. Evil elements' bid to put the country in turmoil will backfire as before, says Tofail Ahmed. Maldives' political crisis might take serious turn, apprehends UN Security Council. Seoul Winter Olympics kicks off. North Korean leader's sister joined the colorful inauguration. And Sri Lanka lead Bangladesh with 312 runs after the second day's play of Dhaka Test.
That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Khoda Hafiz.
Khoda Hafiz.
ছোট্ট বন্ধুরা, তোমরা কেমন আছো? প্রতিবারের মতো তোমাদের প্রিয় অনুষ্ঠান কাননে কুসুম কলি নিয়ে আমি হীরা আক্তার হাজির হয়েছি তোমাদের মাঝে। মোদের গরব মোদের আশা, আমরি বাংলা ভাষা।